Family. Another one bites the dust. Allegedly, we have this leaked audio of Diddy and Bad Bunny. Let's just say working out, to say the least. Working out like very hard. Very hard. You know, a lot of noises being made during this workout. Now, whether the audio is AI or not, it just got leaked about like 10 hours ago. It's been going viral on Twitter. Whether the audio is AI or not, this right here is not AI. Bad Bunny dressed like this right here, with some fake titties, some armpit hair going on in a sundress. This ain't AI. So, with Bad Bunny being dressed like this and what we know about the diddler and how he does his diddly activities, Bad Bunny and Diddy, they make a great combo. Pause. But y'all know what I mean. They go together. Pause. But y'all know what I mean. Let's get straight into this video right here with this leaked audio, along with a lot of other shocking videos you would be surprised even exist, for real.
I just hired a local counsel in California. We will be filing that lawsuit within the week. I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who...
She said that there's multiple tapes being sold around Hollywood, and before the original tape got sold to someone, they wanted to reach out to the person inside the tape to get the most money they could possibly get out of it. That's just devious. That sounds like something Diddy would do.
No, I can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really?
Sheesh.
And you've seen it?
Or I've seen
Sound like a politician.
Video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Damn.
Oh, shit. Get it all out. Let it all out. Get it all out. Get it all out. Don't you run. Don't you run from me.
Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. I hope that joint AI generated, bro. Every single time I come across another audio, bro, that joint just baffles my mind. I be hoping they're audio, like freaking AI, because that just sounds ruthless, though. We already know who's on the bottom. It's definitely going to be this dude, Bad Bunny, right here. 100%.
Get it all out. Get it all out. Don't you run. Don't you run from me.
Bro, the line has to be drawn somewhere. It is what it is, though, bro. This is a Bad Bunny music video. What in the world? I'm not gonna lie, just through those clips alone, it just told an entire story that you probably couldn't even tell. So first off, it showed this young child watching TV in his room. And as he's watching the TV, it says loading. So whatever he's about to watch is beginning to load, and then it goes on to this damn transgender, cross-dressing, head-ass Bad Bunny right here, dressing up in all red, obviously showing that he done sold his soul and everything like that. So either, and then he's obviously showing that he's in allegiance with the devil, with the 666. We have 1 6 here, 2 6 here, 3 6 there. Bro, they literally put it. Wow, hold up. I'm just realizing this right now. And then right in this pocket right here, it says save yourself. He's literally showing us the destruction that this type of music and imagery leads us to is destruction. I'm going to show you guys. And they're saying, save yourself. And then by the end of the video, it shows how he's being controlled by demons. We have chains that are connected to these demons, and he's being like basically moved and manipulated as a puppet. And that's exactly why he'll even be going on a music video like this. On a music video like that, having some fake boobs and dressed up in a dress, influencing the younger generation like it showed in the beginning. Bro, they put it right in front of our face. What the hell is going on here? Yo, Bad Bunny, you need to chill, bro. I didn't even know Bad Bunny really moved like this, bro. At the club, though? Is that a Bad Bunny? Oh, nah, sorry. Who the hell made this compilation?
Veo cosas raras que me pasan por mi cara.
Is he protecting people or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last FREAKOFF tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million.
Damn.
It had multiple stars in it.
$500 million?
Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown.
Now, whose horny ass paid $500 million for this tape, bro? Come on. We need to do better as human, like,
Justin
species.
Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes and then he auctioned them off as NFTs because the NFT that he sold them to was attached to that dark fucking coin.
Diddy did that with his
It was like
twins?
a promissory note to sell his daughters to the highest bidder.
Wow. Damn, that's
You see
disgusting.
movies like,
Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
A lot of people were saying that in this clip right here. They're reanalyzing because they keep saying that Justin Bieber's a bad boy now. But now it no longer gives the effect of like a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Like gangster. It gives the effect as like a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives that effect now.
He's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy.
I don't know what's going on right now. I heard a noise. I come outside. There's sirens blaring, and I see this huge trail in the sky. It's midnight right now, and there's this huge trail like something crash landed. What the heck is that?
Damn.
What is this?
I don't know. You tell me.
I wonder if there's anything on the news about this.
Beyonce kidnapped and blackballed Sia. What the? In 2016, she puts out a random tweet. No correlation. It's one of those ones where it's like eggs, bacon. Oh, it's a code. It's code. It's code. Baby, everything your own nice cat eats. Period. Kangaroo is dead. Nowhere and purple penguins every day. My egg. What the? Take every single letter of the first word and it spells Beyonce me. No way. They circled the first. Oh my god! It really.
That's weird.
In one of the interviews when Beyonce was talking about Sia, look what she said.
And what, you interviewed Sasha?
No, she's never done an interview. I don't know if she ever will. 'Cause I don't really think I would like her interview.
No, I don't think I really would want her to be in an interview. Michael Jackson, I'll see ya.
Nah, the fact that each letter of the first word, each first letter of the word spelt that out is actually very weird. Who knows what that means though? That's weird. Family, crazy story. So my grandma, she was raised in Haiti. It has to do with the shape-shifting right here. She was raised in Haiti, and obviously in Haiti, there's like two forces that are, mainly practiced. You have the Christianity, people who believe in Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and then you have people that do voodoo. So there was this guy that really, really liked her while she was in high school. She was a young girl, and he used to follow her after school, basically on like some stalker type of stuff. So one day, she was running away from him. And he was chasing her, boom, boom. Obviously, you already know she was running through the woods. This is a story, you know what I'm saying? She was running through the woods, and as she's running, she hears like galloping behind her. She looked back. She said that she saw half man, half horse. Now that's the story that my dad told me, and when I brought that up, I was like, yo, grandma, tell me about the story about the man that was half man, half horse. Like, you could tell she didn't even want to speak about it. That's how serious it was. That's a crazy situation. I've heard many other stories about shapeshifting, so not saying this is 100% real right here, but crazy story.
So this is wild. You see this little stamp on this glyphosate-ridden oatmeal, then this little stamp here on the Cheerios. It says American Heart Association. Well, something wasn't adding up to me, so I did a little research, and guess who funds the American Heart Association to the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars? I think you know where this is going. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and the rest of Big Pharma. So the very companies that profit when you have heart problems are the same ones funding the association that tells you that this is heart healthy.
Something very strange right now is going
on. One thing I do know, that dude goes to my gym.
In Wyoming. This is a map of the forest fires in Wyoming right now. You notice they're all mostly on the eastern side. Well, here's a map of the state of Wyoming. And as you can see, the western side of it is yellow, which is mostly federal land. And the white is privately owned. In fact, almost 47% of Wyoming is federally owned land. Well, the fires are all on the private side. Not that there's no reason for that. It's just, fires happen. Maybe it was drier over there. But the only thing is that they just found 2.3 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals in none other than Wyoming, the southeastern corner of Wyoming, near Wheatland. For reference, Wheatland is right in this corner over here, right around there. And there's a big fire. Now, the people of Wyoming and this region of it that actually own the land are against the idea of a gigantic mine going there, changing the topography forever, and who knows what that could cause. But it's crazy. Some of the biggest forest fires ever recorded in the state's history, 74,000 acres. And of course, you do know that the state can confiscate or seize or take property, given that the the private landowner is compensated during a emergency or disaster. And the Wyoming Rare Earth Project got $450 million, a loan or a grant from the federal government to get some mining going.
Elon Musk just introduced Optimus, and we could be living in the movie iRobot. These new Optimus robots were just featured by Elon Musk, saying they'll cost anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 and will help do things around the house like wash dishes, walk your dog, or even watch your child. And these do look very similar to the cyborgs in iRobot, but that wasn't the only similarity. Elon also had a big rollout in autonomous vehicles like this RoboBus, which is basically a self-driving bus. And just like the cyborgs, this looks just like the buses in iRobot. Again, it doesn't stop there. When Elon rolled up to the event, he did it in this robo-taxi, which looks sleek and super cool, but it's literally the same car that Will Smith walks out of in iRobot. Now, Elon is known to troll people, so he could just be pulling inspiration from the movie, but it goes a step further. Elon is trying to make full cities with only autonomous vehicles, saying instead of cities being plagued with parking lots, they'll just be parks. And in theory, that does sound cool, but taking people's freedom to drive might be a harder sell. With that being said, Optimus and the autonomous vehicles were very...
I gotta say, one thing I do enjoy doing is driving. You know what I'm saying? I be cutting it up through traffic on the highway. Stop playing with me, man. Cloaked ships. I don't know. I think those clouds are just moving a little faster. What do y'all think? We get it.
Mountain Dew, once again, does not miss. If you guys remember, I tweeted this a while back showing all the different flavors that correlated with different events. Code Red with 9/11, Maui Burst with Maui Fires, Baja Blast with Hurricane Hillary, Star Spangled Splash with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and Pitch Black with the IT blackout. Now, I've asked people who dealt with hurricanes all the time who live in the area, and they said they've never seen a hurricane pick up speed as it heads towards land. Oh, but that's just tip of the iceberg. The question is, can they control the weather? I mean, I don't know for sure, but here's a US patent that was filed in 2001 and made public in 2003, so there's that. Now again, I'm not making any claims here, but here's another article by the New York Times posted back in 1972 saying rainmaking is used as a weapon by the US. I'm not saying it, that's the New York Times there. Now would you look at that? So Mountain Dew releases a new flavor called Infinite Swirl that just released this past summer. I mean, they gotta be doing it for entertainment purposes only, but a swirl is what a hurricane does, like Helene, and now you have Milton and even another one after Milton, which seems like an infinite amount of swirls. Now, what cities are in Florida? Well, you have Tampa that wants to become a 15-minute city through something called Tampa Moves, a citywide mobile plan that aims to reduce the average commute time to 15 minutes or less. The plan also seeks to have half of all commuters walk, bike, or take public transit. They even plan a downtown Tampa renovation, a $3 billion joint venture between the Tampa Bay Lightning owner, Jeff Finnick, and good old Billy Gates. And they already have 70 sensors with plans to put in more in high crime areas to show that they're leveraging technology to turn Tampa into a smart city. Just like Maui. They even have an entire website dedicated to it, says Smart Cities Alliance.
What's that green goblin goo?
This is an image of a kid flipping back and forth between an iPad and a phone with incredible dexterity. This is a family out to dinner and the kids are watching screens. Another kid without any phone in his hand, crying, attempting to swipe the phone that is not in his hand as if scratching at an itch, but not successfully. And a kid actually tapping a screen in their sleep. What's happening is very clear, which is that the human brain is an incredible organ because it's a map of our experience. It has certain parts that are hardwired that govern our heart rate and control of our heart rate, or control of our breathing, certain immune functions, and on. But then vast percentage of the human brain is open real estate. What you see during development, really between the ages of birth and about age 14 mainly, but certainly extending longer, creates a set of modules or maps within the brain that allow you to predict what's going to happen in the future. So if kids are growing up doing a lot of swiping behavior, there are entirely different maps of how language is encoded, how motor functions and language.
That is ultimately, those are not the tools that actually generate foundational cellular health. 80% of medical schools in the United States don't require a single nutrition course, not 1 minute of nutrition. And yet 90% of our healthcare costs are tied to diseases. The things that are torturing American lives are tied to food, and doctors, it's not a hammer in our toolbox. I didn't learn at Stanford Medical School that 95% of the people on the USDA Food Guidelines for America committee had a conflict of interest with the food industry. I didn't learn that there were 8,000 conflicts of interest at the NIH. I didn't learn that there are 8 billion tons of plastic on planet Earth that are degrading into estrogen, analogs. I did not learn that there's 6 billion pounds of pesticides sprayed on our global food supply every single year. I didn't learn that, simply taking 7,000 steps per day can slash your risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, even gastric reflux by 40 to 60%. And the average American's walking 3,500 steps per day. Like, we're literally just not moving as a country. And if you just walk a little bit, 7,000 steps, which takes like 45 minutes, you slash your risk of every major chronic disease. I didn't learn that we need to be getting...
That's why working out is so important.
...sunlight, because circadian biology dictates our cellular health. Like, we are diurnal animals that have biologic processes that happen during the day and other biologic processes that happen at night. And the way your body knows whether it's day or night is if you get photons hitting your retina and your skin cells. Pretty basic, pretty foundational for human health. Didn't learn anything about it. Didn't learn anything about sunlight. Didn't learn anything about photons. Didn't learn anything about sleep.
Another set of eyes appear as late news
okay, this
lady
the
closes
news
her
ladies.
eyes.
Look at her eyes. I feel like her eyes open. I don't know.
Watch.
Dude, did y'all just see that?
Watch the blink. Now just take the next picture. That's her, not her eyes blinked.
Dude.
Her eye blinked, and that's how.
Do y'all think
blinked.
Her eyes blink, or just another set of eyes?
They gotta pause it. When she blink, you gotta pause it and see it.
I'm finna see it again.
You can do it on your phone.
I'm recording.
I don't know. That's weird. I see what they're talking about, though.
The U.S. couple was left with life-changing disabilities and injuries after an Uber crash, but can't sue Uber after agreeing to terms and conditions while ordering a pizza. This gets even worse because their 12-year-old daughter ordered a pizza on Uber Eats and agreed to the arbitration agreement. This couple, who is horrifically injured and probably going to be handicapped for life, cannot sue Uber in a case that is extremely similar to how Disney Plus was using their Disney Plus subscriber agreement to force a wrongful death lawsuit into arbitration, or say that you can't sue the company at all because the victim in this case, who eating food that they were allergic to, even after informing the staff that they were allergic and requesting a special non-allergy meal, they were just given the wrong thing. They straight up in Disneyland croaked, like just toasted right there. And Disney argued that because the husband had done a free trial on Disney Plus 3 years ago and canceled it, that they were still bound by the arbitration agreement. That's basically what's going on here with Uber and Uber Eats, and I'm going to try to do my best to explain this story. It says John and McGinty from New Jersey in the U.S. were riding in an Uber vehicle when it crashed in March 2022. Ms. McGinty was left in critical care unit for a week with a spine fracture, had one of those, no fun. Traumatic injuries to her abdominal wall. And when they attempted to sue the company, the state judge ruled that they had clicked the confirm button on more than one occasion when asked if they agreed to Uber's terms and services, which are arbitration agreements and waivers of liabilities. Speaking to the BBC, this couple said the most recent time the terms had been agreed to was when their 12-year-old daughter had ordered a pizza on Uber Eats, which had nothing to do with them getting into the car. And they were unable to bring their case to a jury trial under the 7th Amendment of the Constitution, as they had forfeited their rights by clicking 2 words to say.
I mean, I get both sides on that, but at the end of the day, when we're doing business with any business, we are putting our trust into them, because they could just do us dirty at any point in time. Now, unfortunately, like an event like that, there's an accident that happened. The business is going to make terms and agreements that they can protect themselves, because at the end of the day, they're at a liability for every single Uber driver that is driving around. So, I mean, I really hope they get better. But at the same time, I do understand the Uber's terms and services and agreements. You have to sign the terms and the service of agreements when you freaking enter a gym. You know what I'm saying? Like saying that, yo, whatever, if you get hurt, it ain't my fault.
Viewers, Immaculate Constellation.
A brand new bombshell whistleblower report alleges the existence of a secret Pentagon UAP and UFO program, and it's called Immaculate Constellation. The report, turned over to Congress, claims the government has high-resolution pictures of UAPs.
Explosive new report. The Pentagon is illegally hiding a secret UFO collection program. Investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell says this confirms everything he's been saying for years, and it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Pentagon is illegally hiding secret UFO programs from Congress, sources allege.
The report is quite extraordinary. It says that there is an unacknowledged special access program called Immaculate Constellation, which is the parent program, is the language used for exactly what you said, UAP, crash retrieval, reverse engineering, and apparently a very large database of high quality photographs, videos, infrared videos, apparently much more sophisticated documentation of many more UAP encounters than have been.
A bunch of kids named like XCI.
The thing that's really suspicious with Brittany Murphy's is she had the same coroner as Kim Porter. His name was Ed Winters, and he also did Paul Walker's, Whitney Houston's, Tom Petty's, and Michael Jackson's autopsies. He ended up before Kim Porter's second autopsy.
The coroner did?
The coroner between Kim Porter's
That's
first and second autopsies.
super weird.
Yeah, it's super, super weird.
Grimes is?
Oh, yeah.
Just the fact that that coroner did all of those deaths, and I feel like, I personally believe 2 of those are definitely in question when it comes to Kim Porter being Diddy's ex-wife, and then also Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson ended up losing his life after he gained ownership of 50% of Sony, and you know, these labels don't like that. They want to make their money, so both of them. Michael Jackson died from a freaking drug overdose, as they always say, and then Kim Porter was like something like
Michael Jackson's autopsy. He ended up before Kim Porter's second autopsy.
The coroner did?
The coroner between Kim Porter's first and second autopsies.
Super weird.
Yeah, it's super, super weird.
Grimes is?
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk's ex-wife, and they have a bunch of kids named like XEIOU2.
Okay, so Grimes is an artist, she's a singer, and in 2015 she had an album called Art Angels. Supposedly, that album was responsible for a bunch of her fans shaving their heads after listening to it, with no explanation. There's no lyrics in the song that are like, shave your head, but for some reason, people would listen to this album and get the urge to shave their head.
What?
But in a Reddit thread from this year, a bunch of screenshots were put together from different fans of Grimes saying like, yeah, after I listened to the album, I shaved my head. This person said, in 2015, I was listening to Art Angels, and I felt a sudden urge to completely shave my head. I've never felt that urge in my whole life.
Tell me who in the built an 800-mile underground tunnel system in Dayton, Ohio. 800 miles. See, 800 miles. And y'all, it's got some crazy and scary and just sinister, weird, like, history attached to these tunnels. Like, they say they're haunted as. Here is like one of the tunnel entrances from like back in the day, and it was attached to the hospital morgue, and they transported bodies in it. Yeah. And then these tunnels lead back to Philip Gall, y'all. He's the guy that I did the video about the other day that was supposed to be in the Netflix documentary about the vampires. Yeah, that guy. Well, it is believed that a police officer that went undercover during all this in this asylum nightclub as an undercover person, and there was like horrific things that happened supposedly to this guy. I'm not even gonna say him because they're so fucking bad, but there. And they think that his body was placed in these tunnels too because they were attached to this asylum nightclub. And I guess to this day, a lot of homeless people are in these tunnels still, and they say that they are scary. And the word on the street is also ghosts, from what I've been told. So yeah, not going near this tunnel.
About to go to sleep when I spotted. Yo.
The most important things in Britain at the moment, the cash machine of freedom. If we remove cash, we go in the direction of a digital system. I know it's convenient. It is convenient to be able to have a card that holds all of your digital finance, but look, at the end of the day, choice is what we're actually campaigning for. We need to boycott any store that is cashless. We have surveillance in every single part of London, ULEZ, congestion charge. We have a digital infrastructure taking over our country. Young people, you have a direct responsibility to use cash. I know we grew up in a completely digital environment, but the freedom that you currently have is going to dissipate in the next 10 years. It is actually one of the greatest attacks on humanity we have ever seen. If we are reliant on a digital system, we are reliant on the government. They have complete control over our finances and where we go. Electric cars, electric currency, it's going to completely take over our lives. Cash is a symbol of freedom, and if we can preserve cash, we could preserve our future.
Hey, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I guess everything being cashless would put the power in the hands of the government, which obviously they want. But comment down below what you think about this audio that we heard in the beginning of the video, or any other video that we came across that you found to be interesting. Any thoughts that popped into your mind, because I do enjoy reading your comments. I just enjoy doing it on my free time. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can catch when I drop another video for you. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Peace.